Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, every now and then I get the opportunity to bring some really cool people into the studio. Sometimes in person, sometimes over on the Zoom. And right now, I got a very funny guy over here with me. His name is Jeff Allen. I've been seeing his stuff all over the place. You might have seen him over on America's Got Talent. I don't know. You might have seen him on Dry Bar Comedy. He's been on a bunch of different things. The guy's all over the place. We're having a little conversation about this a few minutes ago. He's like, yeah, I'm glad people are doing what I pay them to do. He's a really funny guy. Good morning to you, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Good, man. You? Did you guys get snow last night? We got snow in Nashville last night.
No snow here last night. We did have some debilitating snow, though, not too long ago. It was not fun.
Well, honestly, a quarter inch in Alabama is debilitating.
This is true. And, you know, the snow that we got, you couldn't really call it snow. It was more like deep freeze ice. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you walk on it, it didn't even impact. You couldn't see your footprints.
Right.
It was weird, man. So, about a week here. But so no snow last night. But man, you're getting ready to do a little stand-up at Stand Up Live in Huntsville.
I am. One of my favorite rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're so glad to have you here in Alabama. Do you feel like it's a sweet home, Alabama? Do you feel at home when you're here in the South?
Yeah, because I live in Nashville, so it's only an hour and a half drive, and I get home, I get to sleep in my own bed with my wife. I always call her when I'm leaving the club, kick your boyfriend out, I'm coming home.
That's good stuff. Well, man, you know, a lot of people don't know a whole lot about your journey, about how you got to this, and your faith, because I know sometimes it's weird to call somebody a Christian comedian because it has a certain connotation to it. But you are a clean comedian who happens to be a Christian, and you're very outspoken about your faith. Could you tell us a little bit about your faith?
Well, it saved my life. I mean, it saved everything. I mean, honestly, I was ready to give up comedy. My wife was leaving me, and I met a guy that was doing comedy, and we hit it off as friends on the golf course. And before we left for that week, he just said, "Hey, look, I like you, and I know you're having a hard time, and I go to a church that teaches the Bible. Can I send you some tapes?" I said, "Yeah, as long as it doesn't cost me any money, you can send me whatever you want." And he sent me a Bible, and then tapes started coming, and it was probably a year later when I really opened them up. But literally, instantly transformed me. I mean, from the minute I heard Ecclesiastes 1, meaningless, all in life is meaningless. And that was kind of what my search had been, to find something to make sense out of this life, sober. And anyway, I figured if that truth, which I found to be deeply true, I mean, that was a deep truth that I felt, then there must be other things in that book that is true. And I just dove into the Bible, and after about 2.5, 3 months of just really soaking that in, I realized that if Jesus is who he claimed to be, then I'm his.
Wow.
And I figured if he wasn't, then it would pass like every other fad, in my life, and it hasn't. 27 years now, I think it's deeper today than it was back then.
Yeah, that's so encouraging. And you talk about some pretty relatable stuff in your different sets. Your different sets you do there and stand up, and I've seen a few of them online, and I know some people are really going to laugh, like hysterically tonight. Some of the stuff.
I hope so. That's the goal. People, what's your goal? I just want people to just forget about their problems for an hour and a half. That's all.
That's what I want.
I know what
I
am.
Yeah. I wanted to know.
What's your job? Yeah. I tell my grandchildren, they go, what's your job? I go, I'm a distraction. That's what I am.
That's great. That's great. So the Bible talks a lot about laughter. It's like a medicine, and you're right. Getting distracted a little bit, kind of getting those burdens off our shoulders, and being able to laugh a little bit. It does us good, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The healing benefits are well documented. The endorphins, which is the body's natural morphine, which is a painkiller. So laughter releases the painkiller in our body. So my goal is to get people stoned out of their mind legally, to just leave trashed. Pain-free. That's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we're actually live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at the same time that we're here on the radio. And right before he came on, well, he was telling me that his wife had to cut his hair a little bit. Now, tell us the dynamic there. What's so important about cutting your hair? There's not a whole lot out there, is there?
No, my wife. See what happens when you get like this, like I am. I have just enough fuzz to where if I let it go, I look like a homeless guy. It just kind of looks disheveled. I mean, it's just out of. And she is probably a quarter inch from becoming clinically OCD. So, and I happen to be in her peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And here's one of the jokes I do in the show, but it's true. We were watching TV one night. She paused the TV, which usually means one of us is going to the bathroom, and she's not moving. So I finally look at her and I said, "What?" She says, "You need to trim your nose hairs." And that's just started a whole, like, where's this coming? We're watching a movie. I mean, my God, I'm sick of looking at him. Well, stop looking at him. How about watching the movie? You know.
Right.
But that's her. You trim your ear hair, trim your nose hair. And her theory is this: that if I go out in public, on the road, and I'm all shaggy in my nose and ears and the top of my head, some woman will look at me and say, "Well, he obviously doesn't have a woman in his life who cares." And then she'll hit on me, and I'm weak. So that's her theory. So as long as she keeps me neat, trim, and coiffed, other women will look at that and go, "He's definitely taken care of."
There you go. Yeah.
Because no man on his own would do that. So.
Well, tell me a little bit about that empty nest. What exactly is an empty nest? And is it still empty, or have the little chicks come back? What's going on with that? Uh-oh. I think we lost each other. Let me check this real quick. Hey, Jeff, you still there, man? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll take a quick break real quick, and we'll come right back with Jeff Allen. Sorry, technical difficulties. It happens. So let's do some Phil Wickham and I Believe right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Hey, Jeff, you there? Let's see. View. Speaker. Participants. All right, so I'm working through some technical difficulties. We're still going to be here on the stream, on the broadcast on socials, but let me try to get Jeff back real quick. Looks like I have lost him, so we're going to hope for the best and get him back real quick. So we're in a song right now, but Jeff Allen's going to be live tonight at Stand Up Live in Huntsville. It's going to be an amazing show. I already know it. This guy is so funny, and waiting for him to hop back on this Zoom. Sometimes it's a little wonky, but you know what? We'll make it work. We'll do the best with what we got, right? All right, so waiting right there. Hey, let me go over and peruse these socials real quick, see what we got going on over there. If we got anybody joining us over on Facebook or maybe on Twitter, maybe over on YouTube, try to monitor those and see what's happening there. But thanks so much for hanging out right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm going to keep a check to see when he pops back in over there. And if need be, we can go to phone. So let me check in with him real quick. And tell you what, put you on a brief hold. I'll be right back. Working through some technical difficulties. It's all going to work out, though. If need be, we'll get him back on the phone instead of the stream. But I think this is going to work. So let's check it out and find out. All right. We're going to join with computer audio. Using Zoom, by the way. Got a minute 41 left in the song. And let's see if we can have him hop back on real quick. All right, not popping in. So I'm going to call him on the station phone, and we're going to get this thing going there. Oh, no, there he is. All right, admit. We got a minute 8. There he is.
There we go again. Look at that. I was lost in cyberspace. I'm back.
I'm so glad you found your way out of cyberspace. Here we
Yes.
go. Full screen. Get you back up here on my screen. We got 52 seconds left. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that whole empty nest idea. Yeah, because I saw a little bit about where the kids have gone and then come back. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was when he came back from the Army, right?
Yeah. You good talking about that subject? Anything in particular you want to kind of dive into? You want to kind of give it? Maybe I'll cue you up. Say, hey, what can people really expect to hear from you tonight?
Yeah.
Maybe just something like that too. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And any basis I'm not covering, man, please step in and talk about it because we want to get this info out there. Okay. All right. We got 14 seconds. That was a good breaking point anyway. So good place to take a break.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Right now, live with Jeff Allen, a comedian. He's so funny. He's going to be at Stand Up Live in Huntsville tonight. Really looking forward to this set and just getting to introduce him to y'all. We're live right now over on the socials, and Jeff is back. You got lost in cyberspace there for a minute, man.
I did, man. I did. But we're back, and I'm going to pack up when I get up with you and then drive to Huntsville.
Okay. We were talking
myself
about
a room because I'm old. I need a nap.
right.
Get rested.
Are you still wearing your smartwatch? You still keeping up with your steps and all your vitals?
I have the smartwatch. It's no longer holding a battery charge all day because it's an old one. I think it's I just looked. It's the 4th generation of whatnots. So
I got you.
Yeah,
I know you.
But I use Apple now because Tammy can't. She doesn't monitor that one. She monitored the Fitbit, and that got old pretty quick. she would call me and go, 68 steps in 3 hours. Come on, man, get off your butt and move. I go, this is too much. I don't need this.
I got you. See, it's funny. My wife and I just started doing this fitness challenge on the Apple Watch, and so we just got done with the competition. She won. She won, man.
Oh, good for you.
But, you have a T-shirt over there that says happy wife, happy life. And I think we need to let them win, especially when it comes to fitness.
I don't need to let her win. I don't need to let her win. I'm not wired that way. So
I gotcha.
She is Scrabble. I get smoked. We just picked up a new game over Christmas with our kids here in Montana for Christmas. Azul.
Ooh.
It's a tile game. And we got hooked on that. We played, 15, 20 games.
Wow.
And the games go quick, so it was fun. It's been a long time since we got a new board game where we were competitive and trash talking, and it was fun.
Yeah. So I wonder about this whole idea of empty nest. I've heard people use that term before, an empty nest, when the kids actually go off, live by themselves or whatever. But it's weird sometimes. Sometimes the kids come back. I've heard one person describe them as free-range children because they're kind of out there, but they're still connected in some way. So tell me about how you've experienced a little bit of the empty nest and then coming back, and tell all of our listeners what's going on.
Well, I call them the boomerangs. They go out. They go, oh, it's a tough world out there. You don't know what it's like. I had my youngest son got ticked off at 18 or 19, and he left. Because I told him to take his password off his computer. I said, there isn't a male in this family that has a password that your mother doesn't have access to. And he goes, well, it's my computer. So I unplugged it and said, it's my electricity. You move.
Wow.
So anyway, he came back and he said, I'm moving out. I go, you're moving out? Where are you going? He goes, I'm tired of this. Anyway, about a year later, he came back and said, you don't know what it's like out there. They charge you for the phone. They charge you for cable. I go, yeah, they do, don't they?
Mm.
So, and then my other one, he went into the Army and came back. But anyway, they're both on their own, and in the empty nest devastated Tammy, really, because that was her purpose and point to life, was raising those boys. I was out of town all the time, so 80% of that fell on her, and she relished it and loved it. And then they were gone, and then they look around and they're empty. There's just this, they need something to nourish, and the only one standing there is their idiot husband. And unbeknownst to him, it's not like they sit the husband down and say, hey, look, I worked on those other two for 20 or so years, but I made a lot of notes over the years of what I would do to make your life better. and your life is going to change. It gets so much better. You have no idea in the next 6-8 months. No, they don't do that. They just start taking over your life, and it gets kind of annoying at times. I don't like the attention. I really kind of like just being in the peripheral of my home, just kind of wandering around, and people go, "Who is that?" "Oh, that's your dad." "Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nice to have him around."
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I love how you're so relatable, man. You talk about everyday stuff. So what can we expect to hear tonight at Stand Up Live?
Just a lot of laughs. I'm working on a new dry bar special.
Okay.
So the opening 25 or 30 minutes is that. And I'm hoping that a lot of it they haven't heard. Some of it's from old stuff I've reworked and updated. But anyway, that, and then an hour more after that, about an hour and a half show of just, again, my goal is to make people be distracted and forget their problems and it's a great date night. My gosh, to the men. Yeah. Guys, this is a no-brainer. I do all the talking. You don't have to worry about slipping up and saying something in the middle of a conversation. She goes, "What? What did you just say?" No, I do all the talking. Yeah. And if it doesn't go well and she gets mad, you can blame me.
There you go.
Crappy night, but I think you'll have a good night. I really do. Bring a flower, bring her, and let's just laugh together as a family, an American family, for an hour and a half. It'll be fun.
That's good stuff. Well, Jeff, I thank you so much for carving out some time to be with us here today. I reached out to your manager. I'm like, I saw he's coming to Huntsville. Is there a chance that we could talk with him? And y'all made it happen. So I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. We can't do it without you guys. If you don't get the word out, then they don't know. I guarantee I'll get 30 emails after I leave Huntsville. Yeah. When you coming to Huntsville? So this will help.
All right. Well, you have a great night, and thanks again for all that you do. We really appreciate you. And I'll keep a check on you, see what you're doing over on the socials. And, hey, let's stay in touch, okay?
I will, man. Thanks a lot, Stephen.
Thank you. Have a great day. All right.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Jeff Allen going to be where? Stand Up Live tonight in Huntsville, 7 o'clock. And guess what? You're invited. All you have to do is go over and check out the website. You can go to Stand Up Live in Huntsville, or you can go to jeffallencomedy.com, find out more information about how you can be there tonight. It's going to be an absolute blast. Now you know more about Jeff Allen. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, I'll keep a check on these comments over on the socials. If you have any questions, maybe we can relay them back to Jeff and get those questions answered. Thanks so much for hanging out. I think that we need this laughter in our lives. Like you said, we need a good distraction from time to time because life is tough. So, Jeff, thanks again for making some time for us today. All right, back to the music that you love. I got some Ryan Stevenson with You Are Still My God right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Hey, thank you so much for joining us right here on the broadcast on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but my goodness, we had a good time, didn't we? Yeah. So, hey, if you want to find out more, of course, jeffallencomedy.com for more information on the tour, or you can check out Stand Up Live Huntsville's website for more info there. All right. Well, I will bid you adieu for now, but hey, if you're not doing anything, why don't you go ahead and tune us in online? If you're not near us in North Alabama at 88.5 FM, well, go to 885jfm.com, click that On Now button, press play, and we can keep you company all morning long. And who knows, it might make your day a little bit better. I've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Plus, I got some Winter Jam tickets to give away too. So there's that. Come on, let's do this thing together, okay? All right, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Now, let's get on over to, well, the rest of the show. Come on over, 885jfm.com, click that On Now button, press play.